Hi, this is for everybody who needs to hear it, for myself, and anybody who needs support. As you get older, you realize that it is harder and harder to try. And from what I mean by that is when we're younger, we used to be able to try all the time, to try over and over again. When you're in kindergarten, in elementary school, the teachers used to give us pen, pencils, paper, colors, and we would draw, we would paint, with watercolor. And if you didn't like that, you could read. You can read books, any books about fantasy, about love, about dinosaurs, about science. You could also do sports. You could try any sport you wanted. You could do soccer, football, basketball, volleyball, gymnastics. We used to be able to have so many options as to what we wanted to do with our time and our freedom. Now, I know that we had some restrictions and some rules even back then, but we had more freedom, I feel like, because we were younger, and somewhere along the line, as we got older, the freedom shrunk. You have responsibilities, you have a pathway to follow, and you have to do as you say. You have to do as society tells you to. And to me, that is detrimental to people's mental health and to the freedom that we were meant to have as humans and as people in this society. The responsibilities you have to answer to, the fear of judgment, the fear of exclusion, and the fear of not being good enough, not being knowledgeable enough, not knowing enough, you start you start listening to the voices in your head. You start listening to the voices in your head and you never start. And you start listening to the voices in your head and you never start. You find a hobby you like, but you never actually start doing the hobby. You find books you want to read, but you never actually start reading the books. You buy them and leave them on the shelves. Or you see videos on Instagram about sewing, but you never buy thread or a machine to sew. And you want to start editing or directing movies, but all you do is look up on YouTube every day how to edit, what's the best camera, what's the best lighting, but you never actually start because you feel like you don't have the knowledge enough to start. And I want to tell you that it's okay to start, and it's okay to be bad at something in the beginning, even for a long time. Everybody started somewhere, and everybody was once horrible at their hobby. And a hobby is supposed to be fun and without pressure and without stress. It's okay to be 25 and quit your it's okay to be 25 and quit your professional It's okay to be 25 and quit your professional adult job for an internship. I want to talk about how as adults we're boxed in to a job. I want to talk about how I want to talk that I want to talk about how I want to talk I want to talk about how a lot of people are boxed into a job or a career path, and how unfortunately we aren't pushed to express ourselves or to change ideas. And I think it's normal and natural to want to do different things in life and not be stuck in a career. And I want to push everybody to and I want to push everybody to tune into their interests. And I want to push everybody to tune into their interests and their hobbies and their curiosities and start. Start sewing, start editing your video, press record, go to the beach, start fishing, write a book, write a song, make a movie, whatever it is that your heart desired, whatever it is that you said you would do a year ago and you never started because you were afraid or you were unsure of how to. Just take a pen and write. listen to a melody and start playing your instrument. Go to the beach and walk and realize that the world is much more beautiful than you see it. I personally, I also saw. Now, I want to talk about one of the things I started last week that I always wanted to do, but I never did, and that was edit a YouTube video. So I watched a show with my sister the other day, and it was a reality TV show. And honestly, it's been so long since I've loved a show. So I started making a voiceover about the episodes, and I edited it, and I did the pictures for the voiceover because it was a faceless video, and I published it on YouTube. And it took me so long because I had never edited a YouTube video before. I've never edited an audio. I've never went on the internet and took pictures to put in a YouTube video. And honestly, it was so much fun. It was so fun. And I was really proud of myself at the end when I edited it, when I published it. And even though it didn't get that many views, honestly, it was so fun. It was so fun to produce. And I don't think it's my life's purpose, but it was a new hobby. It was an interest that I always wanted to do since I'm a child that grew up on YouTube. And it was really powerful for me to know that I'm capable of such achievements, even at this age, even when we're not pushed to try new things. I did it, and it's really a proud moment for me. So please, try something today, tomorrow, in a week. And lastly, I want to add that life is short. It truly is. And in the grand scheme of things, we're all insignificant. And I don't mean this as a bad way. I mean this in a good way because we're allowed to live the life we want. And you realize that you're just a small human in this big world that's been here for centuries and centuries and centuries. And also, you'll realize that life is short, but it's too long to be miserable. And when you're miserable, the days feel so long. So go be great and find joy in the little things.